Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. As well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Fat Cat Crochet Stuffy, and these are absolutely adorable. They're actually a lot bigger than you may realize, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to use Bernat Baby Velvet, and we're also going to use Bernat Baby Crushed Velvet. So the Crushed Velvet is something that you can see. So you can either see it here or it's on the top, and you can see there's two versions, so you'll have those options if you want to do that. Today we're going to go step by step through this whole process. You are going to need a size D as in dog, 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. If this yarn makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, you can always substitute with a different yarn if you would like to. The secret to amigurumi like this is that you want to have a nice tight stitch, so you want to have still a smaller hook in order to get this kind of idea. So the other thing that I will give you a tip right off the bat is that once you have this in your hands, when it's really small and it's really fidgety, it's kind of difficult, but once you get more and more into your hands, it gets a lot easier. So if you're feeling right at the front, it's like, oh, I can't do this. If you just get a little bit farther, you'll find that it will get a little bit easier for you as well. Also gonna need a stitch marker today. In my case, it'll just be spare yarn. We're gonna be working in a continuous round as we go, and so there's gonna be no slip stitching involved with this particular item. And then you're gonna have to whip stitch your particular tails and your legs and your ears to the project as well as the eyes. So without further ado, we're gonna head ourselves into the body first, and then we're gonna work our way and get ourselves all the way to the top, and then we're then gonna continue from that point. As we start this project into body, you're going to notice that we're gonna be doing increasing, but what you're going to really notice is that when you start seeing it in the different rounds, so you're gonna get all the way to a certain round, and then we're going to then just single crochet for 4 inches, just keep on building and building and building. The thing that you will notice with this pattern is that the increasing where it happens changes, and so every other time it increases, it changes the location of it so that you end up with the perfect looking. So you see that there's no slip stitching involved. That's not because it's turned any special. It's because of the fact that there is no slip stitching, but the increasing is also changing, so you don't see any definite lines. So the lines that you see here is obviously from my printer, so you won't see any kind of increasing lines in that particular case. So without further ado, let's begin round number 1 of the main body using the main color. In my case, I am using Bernat Baby Crushed, and I'm using, I believe, Cuddly Bunny is my version here. And when you see it all worked up just like this, you see I'm working in advance. It looks phenomenal. It actually kind of gives a rich look, and if you look at the middle, you can see very carefully that it's snailing out because we're working in a continuous revolution. So let's grab our hook and let's play. So let's begin with the slip knot, and you want to be a little bit loose in the very beginning one here, the chain. So just pull up a little bit of extra slack. You will regret it if you don't. So chain 2, so 1, so just give it a little bit more, and 2. Second chain from the hook, we're gonna begin round number 1, and we're gonna put 8 single crochets in the first second chain from the hook. So let's count those out together. So we're gonna 1 and 2, 3, go right up over that straggler. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I want you to hold there for a second, and I need you to grab a stitch marker. In my case, I'm just gonna use some spare yarn, and I'm just gonna pull it from a ball here, and I'm going to use this marker here to pull it up onto the project. So just go in the stitch that you just last finished, and just go right up underneath the stitch and just pull the strand through. So every time you go around this project, you're gonna want to move the stitch marker up, and so you will see a line going through it. So if you look at my other project I did here, you can see my stitch marker is being dragged up. So now we're gonna move on to round number 2. So tighten it back onto the hook. Notice that I did not slip stitch, so you want to work in a continuous round, and this next round is really gonna be critical. So let's begin round number 2. So I'd like to begin, and we need to do 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. There's gonna be a total of 16 stitches, and I'm gonna show you the way that I would count it if I were you. So you can count back. You know that you just put in 8, so you can count back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you're not sure, because you know, if you never played with this yarn before, start in the very first one, and this is how I would count it. I would go 1, so you gotta put 2 singles into each. So 1 and then 1. Go to the next stitch. 2 and 2. Next stitch. 3 and 3, 4 and 4, and then 5 and 5, and 6 and 6, and 7 and 7, and look, that last one is on the 8th one, and this will be 8 and 8. And before you go any further, I want you to do that last one we just did. Move that stitch marker up, so grabbing that straggler and pulling it through. Don't pull it all the way through, just enough, so don't pull it all the way out, just let it hold, and then you've just now commenced round number 2. So now we're gonna get a little bit faster in this tutorial because I'm gonna tell you the repeats, and then that's what you're gonna do all the way around. So round number 2 is now complete. So round number 3, we're going to begin and we're gonna put 2 single crochets in the first one and then 1 into the next. So 2 and then 1, that's our repeat. So we start off in a regular stitch, so 1 and 2 into the first stitch and then 1 by itself. So how I remember it is that I say 1 and 2 into the first stitch and then 1 into the next. So if you're doing this correctly, the very last stitch that you will have when you review this pattern will be 1 single crochet, and that's just a matter of keeping it in time with the pattern. So remember, it's 2 into 1 and then 1 into the next and all the way around. Please do that. This is round number 3. So I'm just finishing up round number 3. So there's 1 into the last one, and that was just a matter of keeping the right count. Move that stitch marker up, please, and then let's continue to round number 4. So round number 4 is another really easy one. So it's gonna be 2 into the first one and then the next 2 are by themselves. So how I would count it is I say 1 and 2 into the first and then the next 2 are by themselves. So just 1 and progress to 2. So let's review that again. So 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2 into the first and then 1 and progress to 2. That's how I say it in my head. I know it kind of probably doesn't make any sense, but that's how I would do it, and this is round number 4. So 2 into the first and then 1 into the next 2. So I'm finishing up round number 4. There was just 1 into the last one, so if you're keeping in count, it's just that's what it will be. And then we're moving up to round number 5. So 5 this time is going to be 2 into the first one and then 1 into the next 3. So how I count it in my head is I go 1 and 2 into the same and then 1, progress to 2, progress to 3. That's how I count it in my head. So let's review again. This is round number 5, so it's gonna be 2 in the first one, so 1 and 2 in the first, and then the next 3 are by themselves, so 1 and progress to 2 and progress to 3. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 5. So just finished up round number 5. You will notice that if you really look at it, it looks like a stop sign. So you have the 8 sides. Remember we started off with 8 stitches, so you end up with 8 side looking ideas. This is why the increase will be changing in the future. It's not changing yet, but it changes midway through so that you end up with more of a round circle. Let's move on to round number 6. So round number 6, we're going to change the location of where the increase is. So right now we've been doing it as soon as you start up a round. This time we're gonna wait a little bit before we do that. So how I'm gonna count it for you is that if you remember that there was an increase and then 3, an increase and then 3. So how I would do it if I were you and you were me, I would do this. Do 1 single crochet into the first 2. So 1 and progress number to 2. Now this is where I would start the physical counting of your stitches. So the next one is gonna be an increase, so there's gonna be 1 and 2 into the first, and then the next 4 in a row are each going to be a single crochet. So just go 1 and progress to 2 and 3 and 4. Then the next one is an increase again. So you're just gonna do 1 and 2 into the same, and you're gonna notice how it's gonna start taking a round shape in comparison to where it was. So it's gonna be 2 into that one and then 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then increase into the next and continue. So I'll meet you up close to the end. I won't meet you right at the end because we had to delay where we did the increase. You're gonna have 2 single crochets before by the time you get to the end. So there will be 2 that are sitting by themselves. So please do the same idea going all the way around for round number 6. So as we finish round number 6, I got 2 into the next one, so there'll be 2 that are by themselves by the time you get back to the stitch marker, and that's because we changed the location of where the increase was. So that was round number 6. Round number 7, after I moved up the stitch marker, probably shouldn't have used pink in retrospect. So number 7, we're now going to put the increase back to where it was before, so we keep alternating where the increase is so that we can keep the round shape looking really good. So round number 7 is 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2, and then the next 5 in a row are each going to be a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then the increase is in the next one, so put 1 and 2 into the next one, and then the next 5 by themselves, and you'll repeat that all the way around. This is round number 7. Okay, I've just finished up round number 7 and now I'm going to begin round number 8. Now round number 8 we're gonna change the increase location again, so here's how I would count it. So the first 3 are gonna be by themselves, so just count 1, 2 and 3, and then the increase is starting. So increase here, so put 2 into the same one, and now the next 6 will be by themselves. So we just count 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then the next one has 2 into the same one, and then 6. So I'll meet you close to the end. The last 3 will be by themselves following this because we're changing the location of where the increase is. So number 8 is going to be 6 single crochets that separate the increase stitches as you go. Please do this. I'll see you at the end of this round. So when you got around to number 8, the last 3 were in by themselves. So the last 3 single crochets by themselves when you hit that stitch marker. Let's begin round number 9. 9, we're gonna start the increase immediately. So 1 and 2, and then the next 7 are by themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then the next one has 2 in them. So 1 and 2, and then the next 7 are by themselves. Please do this. This is round number 9. So I just finished off round number 9, so there was 7 in a row before you end up getting there. So that is continuing along now. Round number 10, we're now just gonna do 1 single crochet into each. So right now it's very close to a flat disc. So now we're gonna start bowling and start to slowly being able to get it to bowl up just like you see at the bottom of the cap. So let's continue. Round number 10 is just 1 single crochet into each. You don't need to count anything. Just make sure 1 single crochet goes into each of the stitches all the way around for round number 10. Okay, just finishing up round number 10. Round number 11 we're going to change the location of the increase again. So here we go. The first 4 are by themselves. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now here comes the increase. So the next one has 2 in them, and now the next 8 are all by themselves. So just count them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then do your increase again. So 1 and 2, and continue all the way around. So when you get back to the stitch marker here, the last 4 will be by themselves if you're keeping account correctly. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 11. So I'm just finishing up round number 11. The last 4 were by themselves because we were keeping count. Now round number 12, there's gonna be 2 into the first one, so we're gonna move the increase back to the beginning again, and now the next 9 will each be by themselves. So it'll be 2 and then 9, 2 and 9. This is round number 12. Okay, moving on to round number 13, a nice easy round again, and now it's just 1 single crochet into each stitch going all the way around for round number 13, so no need to count, and I'll see you at the end of this round, round 13. Moving on to round number 14, we're now going to change the area of where it's doing the increase, so let's count together. So we're gonna do the first 5 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and now let's start the increase counting from this point. So we're gonna put 2 into the next, and then 10 single crochets in a row. So 2 and then 10, and when you get all the way back around, the last 5 here will be 1 single crochet each. So please do this all the way around. So 10 or 2 into the same and then 10 on its own. So let's move on to round number 15. So the last 5 were here by itself, if you recall. So let's do 15. So we're gonna do 2 into the first one. So 1 and 2 and then 11 and then 2 and then 11. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 15. Let's move on to round number 16. 16, simple, just 1 single crochet into each. No need to count, just a matter of 1 single crochet in each. I'll see you at the end of round number 16. Let's move on to round number 17. We're gonna now then do the increase. So we're going to wait a little bit. So let's do this first 6 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and then the increase. So 1 and 2 and now the next 12 in a row will each be 1 single crochet and then 2 into the next and then 12. When you come all the way around, the last 6 here should be 1 single crochet in each if you're keeping the right count. Please do this all the way around. So 2 and 12s. Let's begin round number 18. This is the last growth round before we then start working up our way up the cat. So let's begin this one. So we're gonna do 2 into the first one. So 1 and 2 and then the next 13 in a row are 1 single crochet. So 2 and then 13, 2 and then 13. Please do this all the way around. So I'm now starting number 19. So 19 all the way for another 4 inches. So once we do the first round, we're going to then take a stitch marker and mark this round and then continually go in a single crochet round and around and around until the stitch marker in the next section are measuring 4 inches. So what I'm going to do then is let's just do 19 together. So it's just 1 single crochet in each. I'm going all the way around. Mark the stitch marker as you're going past it and then we're gonna put a stitch marker when we get all the way around in this round and then that becomes your marking to mark the 4 inches that you're going to need to do and you're basically crawling up the side of the cat at this moment and then working its way to the mouth section. So I've just finished off round number 19. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place a stitch marker right here on this round and I'm just grabbing a piece of the strand here. And I want to continue now just to do a single crochet round and around and around. I would move up your other stitch marker as you're going, leave this one in place and then once you get to 4 inches then we're going to then continue along in this tutorial. So I have 2 samples made here. So the other one you can see where I left my 4-inch mark right here and I just kept on going. Just take your tape measure, measure it out and then you're good to go. So let's now continue and I'll see you get that done and we'll see you in the next round where we're gonna start doing some decreasing and then make our way to the face and the head. But we got a little bit of work after we do this 4 inches first. So let's please do that next. So I'm gonna pick you up on the other sample here because I have my 4 inches done. So take a tape measure and just measure it to 4 inches and then you're done. So now we're going to move along in this pattern and start doing the decrease. So it says proceed as follows. Next round, single crochet 2 together in the next 2. So just put the next 2. So just go right in. Let me just bring you closer so you can see. So you're just gonna going in, pulling it through, going into the next stitch, pull through and then pull through all 3 loops and that's a 2 together single crochet. You're then going to put 13 single crochets in a row. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 and then put the next 2 together. So going in, pull through and then in the next one pull through and then pull together and then 13 again. So please do that all the way around and I'll see you at the end of this round. So now that we've gone all the way around and we've done our decrease, the next 3 rounds are each going to be a single crochet. So you know how to do that already. So just mark them off as you go. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around for 3 rounds and I'll see you at the end of that 3 rounds. So let's move along and I've done 3 rounds of just regular single crochet and now we're gonna do another decrease. So the first 2 become together again. So 1 and 2. Make that a 2 together, single crochet, 2 together and then the next 12 are by themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then the next 2 together, and then the next 12 by themselves. Please do that all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this round. So now that I've just done another round of decreasing, that was the 2 together, then 12, one more round of this solid color, and then we're gonna start shaping the face and the head. So it's just one single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around, and then this will end this section here, and we're gonna move on, but don't end this yarn color when you get all the way around. So just one single crochet in each, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So let's move along in this tutorial, and we're going to then start shaping the face, and you're going to notice that the main color that is down here is going to be dragged up a little bit like a triangle, and the other color is going to become the main color. I'm going to show you a tip on how to be able to do this without dragging the yarn all the way around in order to get it back. So when you see this color here, you don't have to drag it all the way. You can just end it, and then you don't have to fasten off at all. You just have to just reset yourself and put it back here. So we're gonna start off then with the next section, shape, face, and head. Let's begin round number 1. As we begin this round, you're going to want to get your secondary color ready, and just maybe create a slip knot there, and when you're ready you can just throw it onto the hook. Let's begin round number 1. So we're going to then just start in the next stitch, and for the next 16 is going to be the same color, so you need to count it. So 1, and make sure that you do move that stitch marker up if you haven't done so at this time. You're going to need to pay attention to where you are. So we have the first one done, and we're gonna do 2, 3, 4, this is 13, 14, 15, and 16, but don't finish 16. Just keep it onto the hook, and then just grab your secondary color. In order to change the color, the last pull through has to be the ready color that's going in. So what I want you to do is that I want you to leave this secondary color, or the first color that we have, just leave it off to the side, and when we come back around we're just gonna pick it up, and so it'll be just resting in behind on the work. So you could actually just drag it all the way around right underneath if you wanted to, or you could just do that. So let's begin to do the next part of this. So let's just pull everything back nice and tight, and you want to go up over top of that straggler as well, and you're gonna go all the way around now with this new color all the way back to the stitch marker. So the stitch marker is your home base, and just make sure everything's nice and tight, and then just single crochet all the way to the stitch marker using this secondary color. I decided to do 2 colors that were very similar to each other just for elegant look. That's completely up to you. Once you've buried the yarn enough, you can just let it fall, and you can leave it on the inside of this character or cut it out if you want to. So just one single crochet in each, and I'll see you at the stitch marker. So I came all the way around. The gray is part of that stitch marker. So when we start the next round, number 2, we want to go to the next 2 of using this color A. So just start the first one, so 1 and then 2, but when you finish 2 I want you to pull up that other color, and you can see that we just dropped it on the back side here, and all I just want you to do is just come back and then just pick it up and finish the stitch. When you go to do that, you want to make sure that you're not gonna stretch the project in any way, so you're not gonna pull it to the point that it's going to ruin the look. So you just want it to let it rest in behind. You kind of see this on intarsia sweaters and etc. So you want to use the new color here, the main color, and you want to go up over top of this secondary yarn. Okay, you could also leave it in behind if you wanted to as well. So let's begin, and the next 12 are going to be this new, the main color. So if you want to go up over top, just leave it on top of the line. Okay, and if you just want to leave it in behind, you can. So just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is the 12th. So on the 12th you want to finish it with the color A, before moving on. And then you're going to then let that main color just stay in behind again, and when you're ready for it again you can just pick it up and then just start using it again over here. So the remaining of this round will just be this color A all the way back to the stitch marker, and I'll see you back there in just a moment. This is round number 2 of doing the shape of the face. In round number 3 I'm back at the stitch marker and we're gonna do a decrease in this round. You should know in the face section right here that is jetting up, we're not doing any decreasing in that color. It's just the rest of the color that are like the color A that we're gonna do. So let's begin with this color A. You're just gonna put the first 2 together. So 2 together, single crochet. But when you go to finish this stitch you need to drop it and you need to pick up the color, the main color, and just drag it across and finish it with that so it's all ready to go. Again, leaving it so it has a little bit of stretch in behind, and etc. So for the next 11 stitches you're just going to go into the regular work with the main color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8, 9, 10, and 11. But don't finish that one with the main color. Let it fall to the back and leave it there, and then just finish it like so. The next 2 will become together. So just this is when the decrease starts. So the next 2 are single crochet 2 together using the color A, and now you're gonna do 11 and then put 2 together, and 11 and put 2 together, and you're gonna do that all the way back around it until you get to the stitch marker. So let's do that. So 11 and then 2 together, 11 and then 2. I'll see you at the end of this round. So let's begin round number 4. You can see in behind when I'm dragging through the other main color yarn here. So let's begin number 4. So 1 single crochet using color A for the next 4 stitches. So just count these out together. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and don't finish it. Drop it and get the main color that is being dragged. So just bring it back to the beginning. Make sure the stretch is okay. And then the next 7 stitches will each be this main color. You can go up over top of the color A if you want to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and don't finish it. Let it fall and get color A, and all you just need to do then is with the color A just continue to go all the way around, 1 single crochet in each, so there's no decreasing on this round, and I will see you back here at the stitch marker once again. So 1 single crochet all the way back to the beginning. Let's work on the 5th round. So I've got myself back to the stitch marker. So the next 5 with the color A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't finish the 5th. Let it fall. Grab the main color. Pull it through. Make sure that it's gonna stretch okay in the back. And then using that you can go right up over top of color A. So it says to do this next 5 stitches with the main color. So starting in the first one. So we have 1, just pull things taut if you have to. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and don't finish the 5th one. Let the main color drop. Grab color A, and all you're just gonna do then with color A, just single crochet yourself all the way back across to the stitch marker again, and just pull things tight again. So just do that, and 1 single crochet in each, going all the way around with color A to the stitch marker, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So let's begin the 6th round. You can see the decreasing of the face hopefully here in this. So we're gonna do a decreasing round, so let's follow carefully. So the first 2 are gonna become together like that. So 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and don't finish that 3rd one. I want you to drop it and then get the main color, pick it up and pull it across So now you can see what it looks like in the back. So in this particular case the next 4 stitches are gonna become the main color. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Don't finish that 4th one though. Just let the main color just fall and pick it up. But it is a decrease round, so watch what we're going to do next. So with the color A is that we are going to put 1 single crochet in the next 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and now here comes the repeating of the decrease. So we're going to put 2 together, and then the next 10 are 1 single crochet and then 2 together and then the next 10, and you're gonna repeat that until you get close to the stitch marker, and I'll meet you there in just a moment. So just 10 by itself and then 2 together, 10 by itself and 2 together with the color A. So as I finished up round number 6, the final 10 were by themselves, so it worked out so that it's an even decrease all the way around. I thought it was gonna be, because that's what it says in the instructions, but I wanted to make sure too. So let's begin number 7. You're gonna do 6 of the color A, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Don't finish the 6. Bring up the main color and just do 3 in a row. So 1, 2 and 3, and don't finish that 3rd one. Just switch it back to A, and it's just 1 single crochet of the color A for the remaining of that round. So continue to do that, and I'll see you at the stitch marker. Once again, this is round number 7. So we're gonna begin the 8th and final round of shaping the face area right here. So let's begin, and we are going to put in 1 single crochet in each of the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then we're going to then switch out to the main color. Just pick it up, go right up over top of the color A, and put the next 2 together, but don't finish that one. Just let it fall, and then just grab the other color and finish it. And now you're going to do a decrease then for the remaining of this round. You'll have an odd number coming around at the very end, as you'll see in the written instructions, but it's easy to remember at this point. So what we're going to do then is single crochet. So we're gonna do single crochet the next 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and now we're gonna begin the repeating of this single crochet 2 together in an even number. So we're gonna put the next 2 together and then 9, 2 together and then 9, 2 together, 9, and when you get all the way back around, the last 8 are gonna be single crochet. So it's just a little bit out of alignment, and that's only because the fact is that we have the face going in here, and we just have to make sure that we're keeping in balance. So it's not wrong, it's just improvisation, of course. So I've just come all the way around, and I am finishing this main color off, so I've just cut it. So all I'm just gonna do is on the back side just weave it through a few sections. Don't let that needle hit the outside of this work so you don't see it, and just tie it into a knot. And you can leave the straggler on the inside of the project if you wish. You won't see it, and it shouldn't pop out on you, but if you want to secure it extra, again, you're the artist, you can decide what works for you. I would also take a moment, and I'm gonna do it probably in the next, after the next couple rounds, is that I'm going to put in the mouth, and it's just easier to access it now before we close it off. So I'll be doing that in a little bit as well. So let's move along with A only, and now continuing along as we're making our way to the top of the head. So continuing along, we have round number 9. So let's just check off 8 done. In round number 9 we want to put in 1 single crochet around in each. So nice and simple again, and using color A for now, going right to the top of the head. So round number 10. So just like we were increasing and we were changing if it was starting at the very beginning of a round or just partially just a few stitches after, the decrease is also the same way. So we're going to begin, and let me just show you an easy way. So round number 10, the first 4 are 1 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here's what I would do. Put the next 2 together and then do the next 8 then by itself, and then 2 together and then 8. And when you get all the way around, the final 4 here will be just 1 single crochet. So remember, once you get beyond the first 4, put 2 together and then 8 and then 2 together and then 8 and all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this round, number 10. Let's begin round number 11, and I've come all the way around. As I promised, the last 4 were by themselves because we were keeping in the right count, and it's just 1 single crochet in each for round number 11 as we're continuing our journey today. So let's continue that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I've just finished up round number 11. I better mark that off, and what I want to do is that I want to put in the mouth now, and I also want to do the nose. So I would do it now because you can get access to the behind really quite easily, and let's begin to do that. So there are instructions and to do that you will need a tapestry needle and just whatever color yarn you would like to shape the mouth with. So the mouth is just an upside down Y, and then the nose is actually the satin stitch, and those are demonstrated on the pattern as well. So I'm just gonna use a different color of the velvet. Beautiful color here. I thought the mouth would be more appropriate. When I look at my cat's mouth, my cat's mouth is not black, even though she's a dark cat. She's kinda got like the little pink little lips and stuff. So I'm just going to come in from behind, and I want to just kinda examine the photograph and see where I want to go. So in order to start, what I'm going to do, just pinch, and I'm just going to grab onto a little section in here in the back, so I should not be able to see it, and I'm going to have a slip knot on the other side, and I'm just gonna pull it through, and that will hold that into place. Okay. So now I kinda wanna look at it. It's an upside down Y, so just I want to get in the between the main color. Okay, so go in the main color and then straight down. And when I go to pull on it, I don't want to over pull. And then I'm going to come up from behind. I want to make sure I don't interfere with that color A. Just get it out of the way. And go on a Y shape. And back to where it went in. And now come to the other side. Roughly in the same spot. And then back to the middle. Again, if you want a different color, that's up to you. So then I have that in. And then once I'm satisfied with that, what I can do is that if I want to keep it the same color, I can go and start the nose. So the nose can pretty much, it can be the satin stitch if you want it to be, or you can just kind of triangulate it out if you want to. So it's gonna be the same strand, and just come down to what you think it should be. And I'm kind of following the contour of the main color, so it looks like it belongs. So if you want the satin stitch, you can see the diagram on the pattern if you wish, in order to demonstrate that down. I'm seeing more people do their noses this way, so, and I actually kind of like doing that. So if you feel like you're off, you can just add more, and you can make it really standard if you want to. This is really kind of an art form in itself to be able to do the sewing. I find the sewing is the hardest part of amigurumi. I can never do it well. So once you get it kind of settled in, you can kind of shape it any way you wish. And once you're happy with it, you can just turn it over and then just secure the back side into the same color and just tie it into a knot and leave the straggler on the inside of the work. So let's begin round number 12, and we're gonna do another decrease. So we're gonna start our decrease right away. So 2 together, the first 2, and then it's gonna be 1 single crochet in each of the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I want to put the next 2 together and then 7. So please do this all the way around. This is number 12. Let's move along to round number 13. 13's 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Please do that and I'll see you back here in just a moment. Okay, let's move along to number 14. So we're gonna change the location of the decreasing, so we need to do the first 3 first. So 1, 2, and 3, and now let's just start the decrease. So put the next 2 together and then 6 by itself and 2 together and then 6. The last 3 will then be 1 single crochet in each if you're keeping the counts correct. Please do that for number 14. Okay, let's begin round number 15, and it's gonna be 1 single crochet in each going all the way around once again. Round number 60 we're gonna do another decrease, and the decrease is gonna be 2 together for the first one, and then the next 5 are going to become single crochets. So 2 and then 5 and then 2 and then 5. Please do this round number 16. Round number 17, let's continue 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around for round number 17. Okay, let's begin round number 18. We're gonna do a decrease, but we're gonna do the first 2 first. So 1 by itself and 2 by itself, and now let's start the decrease. So we're gonna put the 2 together and then the next 4 on its own. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 together, and then 4, 2 together, and 4. Please do that all the way around. You'll end up with 2 by itself when you hit the stitch marker. We're gonna stuff after this round, and get your stuffing ready because it's gonna be continuing in just a moment. Now that we finished round number 18, we want to stuff it. So when you have a bag like this, you're gonna want to pull it out and just kinda open it and pull on it. It's all compressed when it's in here, so if you pull sections out and just let it be free, you'll find that you'll probably get a lot more out of it as well. So you want to stuff your cat to the point where it's firm but not bleeding the stuffing out through the stitches. So just take your time and do that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So just shove it in the hole. Yeah, just like that. Once I did 18, I'm moving on to 19, and I'm just gonna do 1 single crochet in each. You can add more stuffing as you go. Keep moving that stitch marker up as well, and just make sure that when you're doing the top here that you're not overstuffing your character. The stuffing inside will relax, but if you don't put enough in, then it will it may relax to the point where it's starting to droop. So just 1 single crochet in each for row number 19, or round number 19. Let's do round number 20. So we're going to just going in, put the first 2 together, and then the next 3 are by themselves. So 1, 2, and 3. Keep it nice and tight, and then the next 2 are together, and then 3 by themselves. Please do that all the way around for round number 20. Round number 21, you're just gonna still continue to go down and decrease. In round number 21, I'm just looking really quickly, and we're gonna do 1 single crochet in the first one, and then we're gonna do our decreasing starting in the next one. So put the next 2 together, and then here's your decrease repeat for the whole thing. So you're just gonna do 2 in a row and then 2 together, and you're gonna do that all the way around for this round. So please do that, and I will be back in just a moment. In round number 22, we're going to still get smaller, so we're just gonna put single crochet the first 2 together, and then 1 single crochet into the next, and you'll do that all the way around. So 2 together and then 1 single crochet in the next. And finally the last round we're gonna do 2 together around, and then you're gonna leave a long tail and then use a tapestry needle to gather in the rest of the stitches and pull them all together to close off the very top. Make sure that it is completely stuffed to your satisfaction before completing this round, and we'll see you at the end of this round. So 2 together in each. Okay, once you're all the way around and it is the last round, I want you to just trim your yarn, go into the yarn ball, do a long tail. You may also want to pull out that stitch marker now because you don't need it anymore. So just pull it on out, and then we're gonna put that tapestry needle onto another onto this yarn that is coming from the top, and all we just want to do is close the top, etc. So you just want to weave in and out each of these stitches, and then give it a good tug, and then just pull on it and it will completely close. I like to go all the way around first before I tug on it. How you do it is completely up to you. then once you're all the way around, just give it a good tug and pull it shut. And then I would give it a little bit of a tie at the top. Just sink it within the stitches here and just secure it. And then just dive it in. Okay, so I like to dive in and just come out another section. And when I do it, I don't want to have it look like it's coming out of the side. So I just want it to go there, and that's what that's doing, is it's keeping the straggler in place. So if it stretches, it's just gonna open up inside. And so there you go, and there is my big ball of a kitty cat so far. And let's move on, and we're gonna be moving on to the tails and the legs and the ears. That's all gonna be coming up next. So at this point of the tutorial, you have your big egg shape kitty cat, and now we're gonna do all the components. Now I already did all of the components here, but I did not stuff anything as I did it, so I kind of regret I didn't, but I didn't have the stuffing upstairs and I was too lazy to go get it. So what we're going to do is that I'm gonna show you how to make these. So the ears are the first thing that we're gonna start off with. So you need to make 2 sets of ears. So in actual fact there is, if you look at it, see how they're grays on the inside? So there's 2 sets of triangles that are made for 1 ear, and then you just trace it with the main color. So then once you're ready, you can just sew it. So I'm gonna do a demonstration on how to attach just for 1 item, and then I'm just gonna do a demonstration for all the different components. So we have ears, we have a long tail, just like so. My tail's a little bit longer than normal. I wanted a longer tail so that I could probably wrap it around the character a little bit if I wanted to. And then we also have the front legs. So the front legs are more of a popsicle holder. And then we have the back legs that have like kind of a foot. So we're gonna be doing that today. If you want your legs to be longer, you just have to add on more rounds. I did a little bit longer than it suggested. And again, this is your creativity. You can decide what works for you. Also have the eyes. The eyes are the only thing I have not done in advance, and we'll be doing that next too. So as we get started, we're gonna do our ears first. The ears are 2 triangles. There's a main color and a color A. And once those 2 are done, you're just gonna put them on top of each other, and then looking at the gray side here, the main color, sorry, the color A, you're just going to single crochet along the top and then put 3 singles at the top piece, and then single crochet down at the bottom just like you see. So it makes it a little bit nicer. And so you will see that the back side of here looks like the main color, and the front side has the interior of the ear. So it's really easy to be able to do this. I'm only going to demonstrate the ear once, and then because there's 4 pieces that you need, so you just need 2 sets there, and then another, sorry, 1 set here, and then another set for the other ear. So let's begin to do the ears next. And grabbing your same yarn, you can decide which color you want to start off with first, and then we're gonna begin and using the same size hook too. So let's begin to do the ear. You want to chain a total of 10. So with the slip knot already on there, chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Simply go second chain from the hook and just get the back hump of the chain and just single crochet yourself all the way across that chain, and this will be row number 1. So take your time and make sure that you have only 9 stitches left. So you may want to count them as you go just to make sure that they're both right and you get the right size. So just go all the way across. Once you're all the way across, you're just gonna turn your work, and it says row number 2 and alternative rows. So every other row is the same thing. So all it is chain 1 and 1 single crochet into each. So there should be a total of 9 single crochets across. So I would count them. So this is number 2 and 3, 4, 5, this is 6, 7, 8, and 9 is the last one. So now we're gonna begin the next row. There's a typo there, so just keep on going. So the first one you're gonna chain up 1, and the first 2 are gonna come together. So just put them together, 2 together. And you're going to single crochet across, except for the very final 2. You're gonna put the very final 2 together. So when you see that there's only 2 stitches left, you're just gonna put them as a 2 together single crochet, and then you'll turn your work. Now this is an alternative row, so it's just chain 1 and put 1 single crochet into each. So this is giving it an opportunity to keep the triangle shape without peeking off too early. So just single crochet yourself across. Now the next one we want to keep on going, so just chain 1. You're gonna put the first 2 together again, and then single crochet across, and then you're gonna put the final 2 together when you get there. And then turn your work, chain up 1, and it's just 1 single crochet in each. Okay, turn your work, and we want to do another decrease, so chain up 1, put the first 2 together. There's only 1 stitch left in the middle there, and then the next 2 are together. The last 2 are together, so don't forget to do that. Then you're gonna turn your work, chain 1, 1 single crochet into each of the 3 that are there, and then finally the very last one, turn your work, chain 1 and put the 3 together. So you're doing 3 together single crochet, and then that's it. So you're gonna do all of your ears the exact same way, just like that, and then you just trim off your yarn, and then when you're ready to put them together, then that will be your next step. So I have already these made, so let me demonstrate on how to put those together. So let's start doing the ears, and we want to put the 2 pieces together. So when you're looking at it, I want you to look at the gray side, the color A. This is the interior of the ear. The other one is the main color, which will be the back of the ear. So I want you to look at it as if you're looking at the front of the cat. Put your hook in to both sides, and you're just gonna trace along both of these together and pinch them, and leave that yarn tail long so that you can deal with it later. So we're gonna do a standing single, and we're just gonna match the side of the ears together, and then when you get to the top of the peak, you're just gonna put 3 single crochets as it goes over. So you're noticing that you're looking at the right side here with the color A, which will be the interior of the ear that you'll see when you're looking at the character. So you'll notice that the main color is kind of like doing the the framework. So just go into the peak, put your yarn tails on the inside of this that are at the peak. This will provide a little bit of stuffing on the inside. And then come down the other side. So it gives you information on the pattern on how many stitches to put in, but honestly you just want to match it, and it's really not that hard, to be honest with you. So you're gonna do your ears this way and then put them on to the side once you're done, and then carry on and do other components. So just match it, and then just leave the yarn tails long so you can deal with that at the end when you're doing all the finishing. So get both of your sets of ears done, and I will see you then into the next section, and we're gonna move on to doing the tail. So we're gonna do the tail. I made my tail longer than what the tail is on the cat. Again, you can make that decision, what's up to you. A little bit of a ball at the tip of the tail here, and then it goes to be more narrow, and you can stuff this lightly as you're going on this. I'd recommend it. I have not stuffed this at this moment. Kind of regret that I didn't, but I was just too lazy to go get my stuffing. So I can just use a stick or something just to push stuffing into this so that it's a little more full, and then I can just then sew it to the back of the character and etc. So I'm going to get you started to where you see this, and then I'm gonna leave the length for you to be able to do, and then you can go as long as you want to as well. You'll have enough yarn, that's for sure. Okay, let's begin to work on the tail, and just gonna create a slip knot first. We're working on the tip of the tail, so use the main color. If you want a full colored tail, that's up to you too. It's up to you. So we're gonna chain 2. Remember, be a little bit easy with that, a little bit looser than normal, because you're gonna have to go around that, and it's like how we started the very base of the cat. So you're just gonna put 8 single crochets in the first one. So let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And once you have your 8, just pull up a loop and put in a stitch marker there so that you can record the rounds. When you get to making the tube shape, you don't really need to move that stitch marker. It's just when you're doing all this growth and decreasing and etc. Let's move on now to round number 2. Round number 2, like we did before, it's gonna be 2 single crochets in each, so this is how I count it for myself. So I say 1 and 1 in the first one, and then 2 and 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7, and 7, and finally the very last one has 8 and 8, and on the second 8 one, move that stitch marker up again, and then that completes off second round. So let's do another growth as we're going, and now we're going to put 2 single crochets in the next one. So this is round number 3, so 2 is in the first and then 1 into the next. So we have 2 and 2 into the first and then 1 into the next. 2 and 2 and 1 into the next. 2 and 2 and 1 into the next. 2, 2, and then 1 into the next. 2, 2, 1 into the next, and then 2 and 2 and 1 into the last one, and move that stitch marker up one more time, and we're going to be changing the colors after the next round. So we just have to do one more round of this color and then that's it. So rounds now, sorry, we're gonna do one section with this. So rounds number 4, 5, 6, and 7, the next 4 rounds are going to be a single crochet using this one. So it's going to cause it to ball up like that. So let's begin. So rounds number 4, 5, 6, and 7 is just 1 single crochet into each of these stitches, and move that stitch marker up as you go. I think we're far enough in the tutorial that you understand what I'm saying, that just do 4 rounds of single crochet just like you had done on the big cat. So I'm just finishing up the 7th round, and so I don't want to finish the final stitch. I want to change the color out, and I've already trimmed the main color yarn, and we're gonna do the next round and we're gonna do a decrease, and then you can go as long as you want to go with this particular tail. So the decrease on here will be single crochet the next 2 together. One, oh sorry, you gotta go into 2 of them. So 1, and then we're gonna then do 1 single crochet in the next, and you keep repeating that all the way around. So the next 2 are together, and once you just cover enough, you can just tuck in the tail strands in, and then just continue around just with 1 and then 2 into the next, and do that all the way around, and this is the 8th round. So now that I'm all the way around, all I just have to do now until the whole tail is about 7 inches it states, or any longer that you want to go, you're just applying 1 single crochet in a continuous revolution until you get to the size that you would like to go. I determined I wanted my tail a little bit longer than what was suggested in the pattern. You can do so as well. I've also made my legs a little bit longer as well, and again, it's your personal creativity. You don't need to keep that stitch marker in anymore. You can just pull it out, and then any loose tails you have, like ends, you can just tuck on the inside, and then you can stuff this as you go if it's easier for you. I did use a crochet hook in order to stuff the stuffing down into the other tail, so I was able to do that off camera. So just continue now to circle until you get to the length you want, and then leave an extra long tail, and then you'll sew it to the character when you're ready. Okay, so now it's time to make the hands, and these are what they look like. Almost look like you could actually make these into mitts. That'd be pretty awesome too. So I made the hands a little bit longer. So I made one longer when I started it, and so I decided to match it. So if you do the second one, just make sure that they match, and etc. So let's begin to do the hands. You'll have to pay attention to the beginning. It is a spiraling effect, but obviously we just have to keep an eye on the counts just for a little bit, and then it will just go round and around and around. Let's begin to do this next. So let's begin to do the hands, and we're gonna start off with the chain 5, which feels wrong in every way possible, but we're gonna start off with an oval shape right for the tip of the hand first. So let's chain 5. You want to be a little bit loose with it too. So just 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the first round we're gonna come around over the chain, and then we're gonna turn around and do the underside of the chain to create the oval. So second chain from the hook, we are going to then put in 1 single crochet. So just get the back hump of the second chain. So 1, and then you want to single crochet in the next 2. And I've already done this hands before, so I'm making it sound like it's easy, which it is in many ways, but it's the second one that'll be easier for you. So once you get the next 2 done, you have 1 stitch left, and you want to put 3 single crochets in the very last one. And when you do that, let the project rotate around. So just 1, and just let it kind of rotate, 2 and 3. So now the underside of the chain is now facing up. So starting in the first chain that you're going to have is that you will want to single crochet in the next 2. So 1 and 2, and in the last one that you have, you're gonna put 2 single crochets in there. And the second last one, you want to put in a stitch marker so that you can mark it, and that will conclude round number 1. So now you're just gonna work in a continuous circle around this oval shape, and this is what becomes the hands. So let's continue to go around and start round number 2. So round number 2 has a total of 14 single crochets all the way around, so you might want to keep an eye on that. So again, you're going to start off in the very first one, and you're going to single crochet in the first 4 single crochets. So you're gonna single crochet, and I would count so that you get 14. So 1, and you go to the next one, 2 and 3 and 4. And in the next one we're gonna put 3 single crochets. Look at that it's at the edge. So 3 single crochets. So if you had 4 already, so this is 5, 6 and 7, and then continue around. So just starting in the next one. So 8, 9, 10, 11, and now the last one here, 11. So 12. The last one has 3 single crochets. So 12, 13 and 14. That's it. So now it's a matter of just keeping an account. So what we want to do is that we want to do rounds number 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 4 rounds of just regular single crochet using this main color. So starting in the next one, and what you want to do is move up that stitch marker, of course, so that you can keep an eye on the count. So you want to do 4 rounds of just single crochet. I think we're far enough in the tutorial that you understand what that means. So go around 4 times and then meet me back here in just a moment, and you're gonna see it's gonna start bending in just like a finger of a glove. So 1 single crochet into each all the way around for 4 rounds. So eventually you'll get your 4 rounds done, and you want to introduce your other color back in, and you want to start with this stitch and just continue and get rid of the main color, and then just continue to do 3 rounds of this main color A, or sorry, color A. And I decided for myself I wanted the arms to be a little bit longer, so I just kept going around and around. It's just like my tail, and then I ended up with something like this. So you see that this 3 of this color is where it should have stopped, but I just kept it going for an additional 3 just so I had a little bit of a longer arm. So you can determine you have enough yarn on your on your balls in order to do that, and so you can stop anytime you want, and then when you're ready, then just stuff it lightly with some stuffing just like so, and then you'll be ready to attach it to your kitty cat. So this would be how you would do the hands. So let's move along and learn how to do the feet. The feet have a slight bend in them, just like you see, and these are the back feet, and they kinda just sit, and the character is just kinda sitting on top of them to keep it balanced. So they're lightly stuffed after you're finished those, and you just gotta keep an eye on the count. So we gotta create this really oval shape in the very beginning to create this bulge, so that you end up with the bulging on one side and it's more flat coming around on the other. So let's begin to do the feet where it's all main color, and you need your stitch markers, and you need to obviously do 2 unless you want a 4-legged cat or whatever. Let's begin to do this next. Okay, let's begin to do the feet. These are the back feet, and we want to create spiral shaping like we did with the body with this one, so we're not doing that chain work like we just did with the front hands. So let's begin. We're going to chain 2, just be a little bit easy with this, so a little bit looser than normal, and then I want you to put 8 single crochets in the second chain from the hook, so the first chain itself. So 1 and 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. And once you have your 8 in there, put in a stitch marker so that it will hold it there for you, and then we're gonna begin on to round number 2. In round number 2 it's gonna be 2 single crochets in each. Remember how I did it with the body and the tail. So I start on the very first one, and I need to get, there's 8 all the way around and 2 into each, so I go 1 and 1 into the first stitch, and then 2 and 2 into the second stitch, 3 3, this is 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 and 7, and finally the last one is 8 and 8, and move that stitch marker up to the second one of the 8, and then that concludes off round number 2. So round number 3 is gonna be the really weird shape that we're about to do, and it's gonna create that bulge that we want. So let's go through it slowly. We're going to single crochet in the first, so single crochet in the first, and then 2 half double crochets in the next single crochet. So in the next one, so 2 halves, so 1 and 2, and then it says 2 double crochet in the next double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next, and do that twice. So the next single crochet has got 2 double crochet first, and then the one after that has only 1, and we have to do that twice. So the next one after this one has 2 double crochets, so 1 and 2, and then the next one has 1, just like that. It says 2 double crochet in the next double crochet, so 1 and 2, and then it says 2 half double crochets in the next one, so 2 halves, so 1 and 2, just like that. And then it says 1 single crochet in the next single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the next one, and then you have to do that 4 times. So this is 1 of 4. So the repeat pattern is 1 into the next, and then 2 into the next one after that. So that was repeating twice. So we do it again. So 1 into the first one, 2 into the next. So that was the 3 repeat. So then we go 1 into the next, and finally into the very last one we're gonna put 2 into the same one, and then that's it. So you should have a total of 25 stitches going all the way around, so you'll want to verify that when you're going to do the next round. So moving up that stitch marker, let's go up. So working in the back loops, only 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. So what I would do if I were you and you were me, just in the back loop only. So if you're new to crochet, which I'm not sure you'd be doing this project, but if you were, there's 2 loops that make up a stitch. The first loop is the front loop, and the other loop that's in behind is the back loop. So we only want the back loop. So I would count and make sure you have 25 by the time you get back. So, and if you don't, just add a stitch here or there, or just skip over one if you have too many. So then just count. So this is 2, 3, in the back loop only, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, and 21, 22, 23. Now if I've accidentally skipped over anything, I want to make sure I get 25 so that the legs stay in shape. So the last one's here, so 24, and then I would put an extra one in there to get my 25. You know, sometimes you gotta fake it or make it, right? So what this is doing is it's giving you the same amount of circumference for the rest of the leg, so it should stay in balance. So moving on then in this pattern is that we go rounds number 5 and 6, and we're gonna be working in both loops. So 5 and 6 are just going to be 1 single crochet in each. So I'm gonna leave that for you. Do 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in the regular stitches, and meet me back here after you get 5 and 6 done, and then we'll do number 7 where we're going to then do something else. So let's start number 7. We're going to do a decrease to create that bulging out on the front to make it look like the front of the foot. So we're gonna do 1 single crochet in the first one, and then it says single crochet 2 together twice. So you're gonna put the next 2 together, so once, and then do it again, put the next 2 together, so that's the second time. And then it says 1 single crochet in the next, and then single crochet the next 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next, and then 2 times in a row do the next 2 single crochets together. So the 1 and then 2, and then the remaining of these that you have is that it's just 1 single crochet all the way back to the stitch marker. And what that's done is it's basically closed off the one side of the foot to give the illusion of being the front of the foot. Just like that, and that will conclude off number 7. Move up that stitch marker one more time. We have one more decrease to do before you're onto the legs, and then you can go as long as you want to, and you can make the legs as long as you want to as well. So number 8, it's a nice easy repeat all the way around. So you're just gonna do single crochet 2 together, so the next 2 become 1, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and that's your repeat. So the next 2 is just 1 single crochet in each, and then the next one is 2 together, and you keep repeating that all the way around. So the next 2 are by themselves, and then the next 2 are together. The next 2 are by themselves, and the next 2 are together. The next 2 are by themselves, and then the next 2 are together, and then finally the last 2 stitches are by themselves. And so that concludes then on the decreasing of this particular pattern. I'm just gonna pull that out for a second. That finishes off the decreasing for these feet area. So now all you just have to do is that from this point is that you just go in round and around and around. So it says rounds number 9, 10, 11, and 12, so 4 rounds, and then you just keep on, and then that's the length. However, if you want to have longer legs, you just can keep going round and around, and if you want longer legs, then what you can do is do one, determine the length of it, and then do the second one, and then just take the second leg and measure it up with it and make sure that it's pretty close to being the same. And that's how I would do that if I were you. You can actually see that I'm probably just 1 short on the one side here, and if that happens to you, just add an extra round there and then you're good to go. So that would be how you would complete the legs, and it's actually really easy to do. We're gonna then move on and do the eyes next. So let's cover on doing the eyes. Originally the eyes here are the worsted yarn using black, and there's 8 single crochets around in the circle, and then you only have to do 1 round of this velvet. It's just 2 single crochets in each. I did an extra round here to make it bigger, so if you want bigger eyes you can keep going around. The other thing that you can do is that if you use the pattern for the body for rounds number 1 through 4, you can create a big round disc just like so. You can also then do the pupils if you would like to, and then just sew them on. So if you want this thing to have expression, so if you put eyes right in the middle, right, it's almost lacking expression, but if you put them off to the side slightly and then sew it to the character in a certain way, that you can have something that's really kind of fun. You can have it like rolling its eyes or whatever you would like to do. So I'm going to cover on how this is done in this particular format for this character, but again you have options. Just be aware that you can use your own creativity. It doesn't really hurt. So let's begin to do this next. Now I do apologize, I'm using black because it's hard to see, but it's really just the only one round that you need to do. So just be easy on the stretch of this and the first time. So just chain 2, so just be a little bit looser, and then in the second chain from the hook you're gonna put 8 single crochets, and the difference is that you're going to join it at the end. So that was 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And once you have your 8 done, you just join it to the first one. So if you want to count it back, you can. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I know that's very difficult to see on camera, but there was 8 there. So you just join it to the 8th one back with the slip stitch. And I'm gonna show you a little secret with this as well. So once you have that joined, just trim it off. So if you wanted to just use the pupils, then what you can do is just take this long strand that you just did, you can do a bigger one, and then you can position it anywhere instead of using the safety eyes, right? You can do that way as well. So just sew this pupil onto this and then this onto the character. So you can do that. So because the slip stitch creates what appears to be an extra stitch, when you go to start the next one here of this next color, whatever color of eyes you would like to do. My cats have very vibrant green, yellow eyes, just like the character. So the slip stitch creates an extra stitch. So all I would do if I were you, I wouldn't worry about counting so much as far as like how many you're gonna go around. So just join it with a standing single crochet. So you can join it and then chain 1 and then single, or then just put 2 single crochets into each. Pull everything nice and tight. So I would do that all the way around, and if you feel like there's a stitch missing, just add it in, and it's probably gonna be where it's doing the join, where it's gonna appear to be missing. And then that's all you have to do with this particular character. So it's just 2 single crochets into each of the stitches going all the way around, and I would cover up over top of the straggler as well. Get that buried in and out of your way. So if you want more vibrance of the eyes of different colors, depending on what color you would like to do, you can just keep adding more rounds to this. If you look at the body of the pattern, the body section, you can see how the growth works out, and you can just apply that as well. So you can not hear me counting because I'm not, because I'm just going to improvise and just fill in the spots as I'm going. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything gets somewhere, because you'll see people's eyes online. If you keep exact counts, sometimes you can be off, and therefore people don't want to improvise. So if you just fill in all the spots here and then join it to the very beginning, you end up with a really solid color eye. So this is what it's supposed to look like, but you can just keep adding more and more that you would wish. So if you wanted to make it bigger, all you could do then is just to put 1 single crochet in the next, 2 into the next, 1 and then 2, 1 and 2, and then just keep on growing it out if you would like to as well. You can also do this kind of concept and then put in an eye if you would like to, right in the middle, if you would like to have it like that too, and therefore it would be kind of special too. So that's all you'd have to do for these eyes, and now it's about sewing it to the character at this time. Now once you're ready to sew on things, you're just going to just eye it up and just use the long strands that are left over from the pieces and just weave in and out of the big ball shape that you would like to do. So I'm kind of cheating. I'm using the safety eyes because I thought it would be kind of cute for me. I want you to be able to make this personal for you, and you can see that I also turned the eye so it's kind of like looking this way. So if I put the other one close to it, which I have to snap in, it'll look very similar to this. So it's gonna give it kind of like a puppy dog, or kind of like feed me. So all you're just going to do then is just go in and out, make sure that it completely goes all the way around, and then once you're satisfied with it, just weave it in and out, making sure it gets stuck and it's tight, and just tie a knot, and then just put the strand inside of the project. So just going right in, and I like to come out somewhere else like I showed you before, and therefore this whole strand that's in there is gonna be very long inside, and then once I just reshape, it'll just pop back inside of there. So there's kind of one, and then I'm just gonna keep doing that with all the different components, and then you see it's gonna give it kind of a fun look at this point. So sew on all your components, and then when I come back I'll have all of this done.